Oh. Oh. That's a bagel.
Hey! If you're anything like me, you're pushing 30 and probably watched Monster Rancher when you were a kid. And also you're stupid and dumb and didn't realize it was based on a game until like 2012. It was released in 1997 for the PlayStation 1, the exact thing I was balls deep into in 1997. Like, how did I miss that? Wild. Also re-released on Switch, but only in Japan because
They don't love us.
Monster Rancher is a game in which you, ranch monsters. You raise them, train them, you put them to fuck to work, and you fight them. The game starts off with you getting partnered up with Holly,
You know, like from the show?
who's like your secretary or assistant or something. She's there to yell at you. And then you pick a starting monster. A dinosaur, a dog named Cat, or Mike Wazowski. Or, the coolest feature in the damn game, you can swap out the game disc for a CD or other PlayStation game to create other monsters. Even fusions of some.
You know, like from the show?
Calvin Harris gives you a Fruit by the Foot monster. Whale Sounds give you this blue worm. Big Fun Party Mix 2 gives you a Lipper. TMNT gives you Dento. Leaving the game in gives you this snuggly bastard. And the first CD in the Forrest Gump soundtrack gives you my favorite monster that I found. Smiley. Half dinosaur, half mysterious and cute. I am currently under the impression that I'm the only fucker on the planet that's gotten this thing. What are the chances someone else has both Monster Rancher and the Forrest Gump OST? He is mine. Smiley is exclusively my experience. You can't convince me otherwise. The only other way to obtain new monsters in this game beyond using CDs is by combining or breeding. By combining two monsters, the newborn will have the first monster as its primary breed, which determines its overall shape and abilities, and the second one, or sub-breed, determines its skin and has some effect over its abilities. Damn, there are a lot of days in April! You give them a fish at the start of the month and you can fit 4 actions within it. You can work, train, battle, and rest. While working, Cart raises power, which influences how hard you hit with power-type attacks. Field raises intelligence, which dictates how hard you hit with intelligence-types attacks, like magic and mind-types attacks, and also reduces damage taken from those attacks. Guard raises defense, which reduces damage taken. Hunt raises skill, which affects your attack accuracy. Forest raises speed, which helps your dodge chance. Logging raises life, which is, your life. Circus raises speed and intelligence, but lowers power. You know, when I hear pet training, I think, like, sit and shake, not send them to clown college. Mine raises life and defense, but lowers skill. Build raises power and life, but lowers speed. And Mailman raises intelligence and skill, but lowers defense. Working also makes you some dosh, as long as he, you know, does the fucking job. Training basically ships them off to a camp for a month. Way better results, but it's expensive as fuck, and like, half the time they lost my monster. Why are you so mad at me? He's been gone for a month. A tournament where you can fight your monster happens like every other month or something, and your monster gets tired sometimes, so you gotta let them rest. See, they also have a loyalty meter and a rating of how shitty of a person you are. Everything from not letting them rest and having them lose battles to the quality of food you give them fluctuates these, and it can affect them in battle. Your monster actually grows up too, like they get way bigger. I love this. After about 4 years or so, you're offered to upgrade your barn and stuff too. It lets you get larger breeds of monsters. Now these tournaments are the core of the game. Beyond them, it's just a 3D model walking around a pre-rendered background, like a big Tamagotchi with less features.
Give me some poop to clean up or something. Come on!
This is like the least enthusiastic announcer. Okay, buckle up. We're gonna talk about gameplay. In battle, R1 and L1 move your monster as well as the attack cursor. They're like directly related. You can only use specific attacks when you're at the proper range for them. That makes sense, right? You're not gonna use a long-range projectile if you're right next to the guy. I think this system is super clever, actually. If your monster gets backed into a corner, you simply can't use your long-distance attacks. But you can hit square in a pinch to scare them off. Your attacks take will to use, and all attacks have a specific will cost, hit percent, damage range, and additional effects. Will recovers slowly over time and increases your hit percentage if it's higher, so you don't want to necessarily be spamming attacks. You're going to dry up your will and your attacks are going to be dog shit. Get KO'd with low will and you could end up with injuries and be out for the whole tournament basically. You start off in rank E and you've got to work your way up to S in the round robin tourneys. A thing I hate is that you can't attack while your opponent is attacking and vice versa. so you can end up not being able to get a crucial hit in the last 5 seconds of the match because your opponent's running through their attack animation. If you win enough and gain enough popularity though, you'll end up with fan mail, and that's really cool. This Eggman motherfucker wants to borrow my dinosaur? Treasure hunts happen seemingly randomly. They're pretty cool. Switches to an isometric minigame where you just look for treasure, I guess. And that's kind of it, honestly. The visuals are pretty non-existent, the music is underwhelming, the gameplay peaks at the battle system. As unique as it is, it's not super engaging and revolves a lot around RNG and generally just having bigger numbers than your opponent. But the draw to the game is the monsters. It's always the monsters. I love monsters, man. Big, small, cute, cool, hunting or taming, it's what brings me to the party. The monsters in Monster Rancher are pretty down to earth and far from complex, varying from traditional golems, slimes, dragons, and pixies to the more original creative Suezos, and then veering into the wacky absurd with doodles, mews, and magics.
That's literally just a guy.
And my favorite monster in the game, the Monol. These fuckers deserve an award for making the easiest monster to model in 3D video game history and getting away with it. I love this square so much.
Okay, I fucking lied.
There is a third way of getting monsters, but it's convoluted as all hell. You can unlock entirely new, purebred monsters by special events that involve really complex monster stats, completing certain tourneys, and finding specific items during expeditions. Looking some of these up, this game very clearly falls into the early RPG trap of being convoluted as all hell. Like, let's read Dragon. You know, base friggin' dragon. To obtain a dragon in Monster Rancher 1, win the B-Class Trial Cup on April 4th. Subsequently raise your monster to Class A and win the Dragon Tusk tourney. You get the invite on August 2nd, the tourney is on August 4th, to receive a Dragon Tusk. Combined with a Stinger, which is a combination of Naga and Dino, and a Grape, a combination of Dino and Naga, to get a dragon. And that's a simple one. Let's read this robot dude Hanger. Raise your monster's intelligence over 200 and have it reach C rank. On October 2nd, Mr. Carnab, that's the Eggman guy, will invite you to explore the Reno ruins with him. Search the temples to collect the 4 clay doll items. The left doll hand, the right doll hand, the left doll leg, and the right doll leg. The hidden building in the center of the map can contain all 4 pieces. Raise your monster to Class A and beat the Winter Invitational tourney to win the doll head. The pieces will be assembled into the clay doll. Next, send a monster with at least 550 intelligence and high power to the obelisk at north center of the Reno map. Break the barrier and read the inscription on the obelisk. Your monster will now bear a circular mark on its body. Combine this monster with any other monster and the clay doll for Hanger. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with Smiley.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, and your monster can fucking die. And you wanna know how I found that out? Somebody online spoiled it for me, but I went through it anyways to get the footage. I hope I get a stat screen at my funeral.
Oh no, Smiley's dead. What? How'd that happen? Man, I'm so stupid.